Hello everyone, Lisel Crowley here at the Cool Tools Studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really fun pair of triple tier earrings using one of the Cool Tools new easy release textures. Let's get started. So these are the tools we're going to use for this project. We need some thickness frames. We need two templates. We need a stone setting template, the small round, and we also want a template for cutting out graduated circles. That's to make the 3 different size tiers. We're going to use tweezers and the clay pick, a biopsy punch. This is a 3.5 millimeter biopsy punch because we're setting 4 millimeter gemstones. And I like to use the punch that's about a 0.5 millimeter smaller than the gemstones. We're going to use ear wires to assemble the earrings. We're using FS999 clay for this project, so I have some all ready to go under this hydrator. This is a wonderful tool for long-term storage, but it also works well as a working hydrator when you're working with the clay. For assembly, we're going to need some jump rings, and we're going to use this incredible new texture. It's an easy release texture, and we're going to use 3 of these circular motifs to create the earrings. But you can see there's many different shapes on here, and you could make a variety of designs from this one texture. Of course, we're going to need water and brush, a coil roller, a rolling pin, some tough cards, tweezers, and a clay pick, and a work surface. Let's get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is set the gemstone. And what I'd like to do is place the gemstone upside down, and first I'm going to determine the depth of the stone. So I have about 9 cards here, and I'm going to run my coil roller over the frames, and the stone is not moving. If I take the 2 cards away, the stone is moving, so that tells me this is the proper depth I want to work at. I'm going to take a lump of clay, and I want it to be fresh clay or freshly reconstituted clay. And I'm going to just roll it with my coil roller, and it's a good idea to handle the clay as little as possible. So when I'm making my ball, instead of making it with my hands, I'm making it with my coil roller, and then I'm going to press. Now notice I'm working on a tough card. That's because once I get my stone set in there, I don't want to have to pick it up with my fingers. I want to just pick up that tough card and set it aside. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut my outer cut, and I'm going to use the 8 millimeter hole on this template, and I can try to do both gemstones out of this one patty. So I'm going to cut once, and then again. And I'm going to trim away my excess. FS999 is a wonderful clay to work with. It's very creamy, it's very flexible, and it's a dream to work with, and it's a dream to reconstitute too if you need to reconstitute it. So I've got my 2 discs, and now that I've cut them, I'm just going to press again with my coil roller. That just helps reflatten them. Now I'm going to take my biopsy punch. I'm going to spray a little lube on my work surface and just lube that punch. And I'm going to cut a hole out from the middle of each of these discs. And when I cut, I like to twist the punch before I pull it out. And that just means that I'm definitely getting the entire circle cut out. I'm going to reclaim my clay from this. Just takes a second. And this is an important step because if it gets dried up in there, not only is it wasting your clay, but it is clogging your punch. And I'm just going to press one more time. I'm going to come in with my gemstones. I love these diamond tweezers. They pick up the stones really well. They have a little bit of a grip on the end, which allows you to grab the stones easily. Just make sure it's in there somewhat level, and when you press with the coil roller, that will help level it and get the stone positioned right where you want it. And now I'm just going to lightly brush around these with some water to kind of smooth out any roughness. And these will be sanded, but I find that initially brushing with water makes less work later after they're dried. And you always want to have your stones prepared, dried, and sanded before you make your project so that they're ready to go. Okay, these will be set aside to dry, and then we'll make the earrings. Okay, so here's my bezel set Nano Gems that are ready to go. I've already sanded them. I've sanded them front and back and around the edges. So these are ready to go. And here's the texture we're going to use. I love this texture. There's so many options on here. You could combine different elements from this in a huge variety of ways. But we're going to use just the circle motifs for this pair of earrings. So I'm going to very lightly, one of the things I like about these textures also is that you don't need a lot of lubricant. That's why they're called easy release textures. And with metal clay, the less lubricant you use, the better, because too much lubricant will compromise the texture of the clay. So I'm going to texture the clay from 4 cards down to 2. And I'm going to use a substantial amount of clay because I want to cut out several circles from the texture. So I'm going to roll it to 4 cards thick. And I love FS999 clay. It's got a wonderful creamy consistency. It's very flexible. It's a dream to work with. Okay, so I've got it 4 cards thick. And now I'm going to take my easy release texture, and again, I've already lubricated this, and I'm going to texture down to 2 cards. And when I texture, I like to do one firm, even pass. And you see that I have all these circles now. So what I want to do is make 3 tiers, but I want to make them graduated in size. And this template here is excellent for that. What I do want to do, however, is raise the template up so that it is not touching the clay. And it doesn't have to be level. I just want it high enough that it's not touching the clay when I'm cutting my circles out. Because if it's touching the clay, then it might flatten the texture. So the first circle I'm going to cut is the largest circle. And I'm going to use this kind of sunburst pattern for the largest circle. And then I'm going to come to this pattern and cut a smaller circle. I didn't do a very good job cutting that, so I'm going to come over here and cut it again. And that's another benefit of having all these circles ready to go. If you make a mistake with one, you can always use another. And then I'm going back to the starburst and I'm cutting an even smaller circle, just from the center. Okay, and this is enough for one earring. I'm not going to try to do both earrings at once. I find if I try to do too much at once, I end up wasting time rather than saving time. So I've got my 3 components. I've just got a little crumb here I got to get rid of. And let me just show you how they'll look next to each other. And these need to be dried and sanded, but I am going to just put pilot holes where I want them to dangle from. And I want them to be oriented in a particular way. So the top tier is going to get 2 holes. The second tier is going to get 2 holes, top and bottom. And the bottom tier is just going to get 1 hole. And this is somewhat oval looking, so I want to make sure that the 1 hole is at the top of the oval. The other thing to consider is if you wanted, you could also put a hole here and maybe dangle a pearl or something and make it a 4-tier pair of earrings, but we're just going to do the 3. So this will be set aside to dry and sand, and then I'll use a hand drill to drill out the holes, and then it will be fired and assembled. And before I set this aside to dry, I also want to set my Nano Gem in the top tier. So I'm going to come back to my biopsy punch. So I'm just going to cut that out from the center of the top tier. And you really want a hole going all the way through the piece for the Nano Gems for the light to really bounce off, and so that you can see the sparkle and the color of the gem. And what I like to do is just dip my bezel right in water to get it nice and wet and get it placed right on the center there, and just do a little wiggle until it grabs. I just want to make sure it's centered on there nicely. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I've done here for my other earring. They'll be dried, sanded, I'll drill out the holes, and then they'll be fired and assembled. Here's our finished earrings. Aren't they lovely? They've been fired, polished, and assembled. You can mix and match the different motifs in a variety of ways to come up with your own unique designs. Have a lot of fun.
Visit our Learning Center at cooltools.us for more cool jewelry making videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and be sure to sign up for our email list to be the first to hear about new videos, new products, and other cool stuff from Cool Tools.